Now in this video we're going to go through everything you need to know to get started using Inventables CNC machine. Here is their website. I am at inventables.com, and when you first get to their website you'll need to create an account because they'll save your projects. I have dozens of projects in my account, and once you have created your account you'll see these different tabs at the top of the page. First one says shop, so this is where you can buy CNC machines. Easel is where we're going to be making our projects. Now the word projects here, this is not your project, this is other people's projects. Let me click on it. This is where you can get some ideas for what you can do once you get good at using these CNC machines. But for your first projects, I'll show you what to do. So you don't need to go here for inspiration quite yet. Forum and support, this is mostly for people who are having trouble with their machines. So if you click on Easel, I just clicked on Easel, you also have to click down here on this yellow button, and once you've clicked on that button you'll see all of your past projects, and if you don't have any it'll jump you right straight into a new project. It might have your first name and a picture here. You can click and delete those, and what I want you to see here is this page where the designing happens. There are so many things going on the page, but they do a pretty good job of keeping it simple, because up here you can bring in a shape. There's a square. Let's bring in a star. Let's bring in a circle. Now it doesn't seem like that can do very much, but the first thing I have my students do is take the star. If you double click it, now you can see the points of that star, and with just a few clicks you can turn that star into the crude outline of a person, of which you can take the circle, put it on top. And that's a good way to get started. And what you need to notice is that this gray person shape is also showing up over here as a preview for the cut that you're designing. So this person is being cut out of the board. What's going to happen with the CNC machine is that it takes a little drill bit and it sticks it down and drills exactly where you are drawing, and it will remove the material from your board. So we need to get a lot of things right before we actually make a project. So starting out here with a person, you need to first know what kind of material and the board you're going into. And at this point when I'm teaching my students, I have them delete everything because sometimes you can't edit this. And you need to know what material you have. So here are some materials that, this is my favorite material. It's called expanded plastic or expanded PVC. And this specific expanded PVC has aluminum foil on the top. So it's aluminum top, very thin sheet, and then it's a different color on the inside. And so what you can do is that you can carve through the aluminum top, and then all of a sudden you've got black lettering or black, and it'll cut right through the stuff, no problem. So if you are using this piece, you need to know how wide it is. This piece is 6 inches wide, and how long it is. And I grabbed a square just to make it simple, because if we go back here, this would be a 6-inch wide board and a 6-inch long board. And you can pretty clearly see that it shows you where it is you're working right here on the screen. The other thing you should notice, you need to know how thick your board is. So this is 1/8 of an inch thick. That's 0.125. But there are other materials out here. This 2-color HDPE, this is 1/4 inch thick, so it's 0.25. So you have got to get that correct when you are looking here. The thickness is how thick it is. If we're using that thin stuff, it's 0.125. And the material type matters because that decides how quickly the machine will go through the machine will cut it. If you are trying to cut aluminum, which is a metal, it's going to cut very differently than when you're trying to cut a plastic. So it's very important that these are correct. So now that we have them correct, and we know how large of an area we're working on, we can start designing. Now I already showed you these tools. One thing I haven't mentioned yet is that if you double click, you can move these points around. You can also change these points from a straight corner into a curved corner. Watch what happens when I click this. Now you have a curve that you're dealing with, of which you can mold it, you can shape it, it can be whatever you want it to be. Definitely play with that so you are familiar with that feature. Underneath the shapes is the line tool. So if I'm taking the line tool, that's a quick way to create something like a fish. Now obviously my fish doesn't look very good. What I can do is double click it, or I can click on edit points. It's the same thing to double click or to go edit points, and you can change these points into curved points and start smoothing out your shape. Once you have the shape exactly the way you want it, start noticing what's happening here. If I bring this all the way to the top, it basically disappears. If I bring it all the way to the bottom, it turns into a black line. What's happening here is that this is deciding how deep of a cut you are going to be making in that board. So if I'm cutting all the way to the bottom, what you'll see in the preview is that it's going all the way through the board. So I am cutting this shape out of this board. And when I am done, here's what I will have. I will have this little fish shape. If you want a hole drilled, this little drill feature will put a hole the exact same size as your bit. So we should talk about the bit sizes over here. The bit sizes, in my classroom I've only stocked two sizes to keep it simple. I stock the 1/16 and the 1/8 inch. So the 1/8 inch bit, you can see, is pretty wide. It will go and it'll remove a lot of material. Let me change that to 1/16 really quickly. You notice that it became a thinner line that was being cut out. This black line became thinner and the actual cut became thinner. If you want lots of detail, you need to have a small enough bit in there. So moving on with the features, I've got a fish coming out of the board. It's got a small eye. You can also add text to your project. However, I'm going to add text that is not going to work to show you what that looks like really quickly. It has these very fancy fonts. Let's just use this one for now. So I've got this blocky words and I've got these not so blocky words. What I want to see is one of these will work, one of them will not. In the preview, the blocky text that I'm moving around right here comes out just fine. The E is coming out okay, the X is coming out okay, the T is coming out okay. But, let me move this over, the preview for the other text is not. The X isn't working out correctly. The reason for that is because that drill bit, and I've even got it set to the smaller bit right now, cannot get in to make those letters. If I make this even smaller, even more of it disappears. Many, many, many mistakes have been made by people trying to put small text on their projects. If you're working with a 1/8 inch bit, That one disappears entirely. It's got to be larger. Here it is, larger than the other one, and it's still not working correctly. That's what it looks like. So keeping an eye on your preview is very important, and making sure you don't try to get tiny details while you're working. The best projects are the ones that are kept very simple. Now down here are the icons. Many of these have too many details for the size of project that we are working on, and so I personally stay away from these. Up next are the apps. Now this is where you can do some pretty advanced stuff. There's a box making app. This is cutting out the 6 sides of a box. Here is a classic box maker. The difference between these two is this box maker will give you a slide in top. This will give you a top that is permanent. If you can see, all the sides are interlocking, and so the top is interlocking instead of a slide in. There are lots of these apps. As you do your projects, you'll start to see how think of uses for these. Here's how you can curve some text. Here's how you would offset something. So if you have a shape and you want to have different layers to it, use this offsetter. You can array something in a circle. So they drew one person and then they turned it into an array. There's a duplicator. You can make text follow a path. Now, one of the more useful ones is the extract subpath. So you can, if you want to get a really cool looking animal, you can get the animal made and then put the path around it. But play with those apps as you please. The last tool over here is called import. This is where you can import different things like a SVG file, or most students want to use an image trace. Now images for this are a little tricky. What we should do is take a look at what images will and will not work. So if I go to images and I look for Iron Man, there are some images here that just will not work on a CNC machine very well. Let's say you're a big fan of Iron Man and you want to take this. Well, first you're going to have to save the image. Make sure that it's a JPEG. If it's not a JPEG, you're probably going to have problems. So I just typed in Iron Man JPEG. Let's take a picture that's not going to work very well. So let me save this one quickly. Now back here in my design, I'm going to go to the import button, image trace, and upload that Iron Man file. Here is kind of what they're trying to make sense of. This will not turn out very well. Even with a small bit, people will say, what is that supposed to be? So let's get rid of that. The problem is that this has too many colors, too many details. So if you want to find, if you want to do an emblem or a superhero something, I always go over here to Tools and switch it to switch the color to black and white. That will give you some simpler options. Here is something that we could import and do very well on a CNC machine. It is very simple. It has clear cut lines where the drill bit will go. And so if I save this, head back over, click import image trace, and then I've got to click the upload file button. As I upload that file, I got an error. Now, sometimes this happens, and what you need to do is go back and try to find a different a different picture that you like, because I've never been able to undo an error like that. Let's try one more. Save. We will upload this one. Now this time it uploaded this much simpler image. All of the lines are still there. If you want, you can try to clean it up by changing the smoothing. Make things a little smoother if you've got some jagged edges. That looks a little better. You can invert it, which means cut out the opposite of what you just had, or you can just have an outline of what you had. We're going to stick with the default. And now here's my Iron Man picture. It's getting kind of crowded on this page with the fish, and so at the very bottom here I'm going to start a new page.